Alright, here is my audience, just for video proof. Okay. So, how many of us experience the feeling of having seen or done or dreamt about something before? We call it deja vu, but what really is deja vu? Deja vu is a French term that means seen before or seen already. And according to Edward Wilde, it was defined in 1983 as any subjectively inappropriate impression of familiarity of a present experience with an undefined past. Basically, it's a vague sense that you've been somewhere or done something before, but you can't pinpoint when or where. And Cleary says that it occurs when a situation feels familiar, but there's evidence to support that it has never happened before. As far as scientifically tracking the concept of deja vu, Mr. Wolfrat says that 50 to 90% of people claim to have experienced it at some point in their life, but that teens and young adults experience it more. And Edward Wilde says that lower age, poorer education, and lower socioeconomic status contribute to the frequency of deja vu. The concept was first referenced in around 400 AD by St. Augustine as false memoriae, and has been mentioned in a lot of literary works, but was not medically picked up until 1844, when a psychiatrist by the name of Andrew Wigan picked it up and started studying it. The term might have first been used in 1876 by a French physician by the name of Émile Boirac, but the term was officially coined by a man named F.L. Arnaud in 1896. Now, according to Jessica Hamzelou, deja vu is long thought to be false memories, but it's not. A lot of psychiatrists believe that the phenomenon is an attempt to recall suppressed memories. Many times, events that people are trying to recall are linked to distress, or it can be caused by delayed neurotransmission, or triggered by fatigue, or stress, or familiar situation, gaps in our attention span, or subliminal stimuli. Now, there are a few different types of theories that support the concept of deja vu, starting with parapsychological ones, such as deja vu being past life memories, telepathy, or astral transportation. More scientifically, psychological theories, such as the ones suggested by Anne Cleary, point out that deja vu could be recognition memory with familiarity-based recognition. There's actually a dual process theory that says that it could come from recollection and familiarity, and that's what triggers the sensation that you've been somewhere, done something before. Edward Wilde thinks that it could be the loss of synchronicity between brain hemispheres, a disturbance of time perception, or the tape recorder hypothesis, where your recording head and your output head in your brain are both working simultaneously. There are also a few neurological theories saying that deja vu can be associated with psychiatric disorders and is more widely recognized in people who suffer from temporal lobe epilepsy. There's a conflict between the hippocampus and the neocortex, according to Michael Lemonick, and scientists believe that it can be a misfire of the pattern separation memory circuit in your brain. There's a study done in 1989 by Larry Jacoby, and he studied subliminal stimuli, where he took a test group and flashed a word at them so fast that they couldn't see it. And then a couple of days later, he showed them a picture of the word and everybody claimed to remember it. Now, the hippocampus and the parahippocampal gyrus, the rhinal cortex and the amygdala, are very important to memory in your brain because the hippocampus recalls your concrete memory and the parahippocampal gyrus differentiates familiar and unfamiliar stimuli. In 1963, Robert Efron stated that the left temporal lobe is responsible for sorting incoming data, and it receives the signals twice, once directly and once that takes a detour through the right temporal lobe. Now, if that detoured signal is delayed, then the left hemisphere registers the time lapse and it can trigger the deja vu sensation. In studies done by Thomas McHugh and his colleagues, according to Michael Lemonick, he discovered a specific memory circuit in mice that basically means that deja vu is more likely to be memory related. But according to Jessica Hamslew, Akira O'Connor did studies and did fMRI scans that prove that the hippocampus is not active during deja vu sensations, but that the frontal areas of the brain that are associated with decision making are actually active during deja vu.
It's okay.
So while there's not a universal way to screen for it, Laura Mamoli and her colleagues tested using the Inventory Deja Vu Experiences Assessment, which is a self-administered questionnaire that they use in Italy and Japan. And they found that it's fairly common in people with normal brains, but it's more common in people who suffer from epilepsy. It's unpredictable, so it's hard to track, but it is entirely associated with neurological circuits. And it's likely to happen less with age, so the older you get, the less likely you are to experience deja vu. So the eerie feelings will not last forever.
Ta-da!